Greetings, everyone, and welcome. January the 5th, 2026, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I wish this was just a nightmare I was going to share with you, but it's not. It's the reality of what is happening, and it is confirmed. This isn't just a real estate deal. This is the potential end of the NATO alliance as the world has known it for global order for decades after World War II. Donald Trump aggressively pushing the Monroe Doctrine or the Monroe Doctrine, specifically speaking about Greenland and saying, we'll know more about that in about 20 days. But then he proceeds to spill the beans about it, ultimately declaring that the United States must have it. Denmark, Finland, the UK, and others responding aggressively, warning if he is allowed to proceed, the post-World War II order will be over. And the only winner, ultimately, at the very end, in this case, will be Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. He's loving what is happening with this. And there's something else we need to understand about the ice. I have that for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I cannot even believe that this is my thumbnail. The Department of State posting less than an hour ago, as of the recording of this is our hemisphere, all caps. And President Trump will not allow our security to be threatened. This is our hemisphere. Over on the right, an article out of the New York Post headline from a year ago that Donald Trump pushed the bad guys and stand for what is right. Of course we do. But we are not a nation of rogue elements that just forces our will everywhere. That's not a leader. That's not a guiding light. That's a dictatorship of evil. Model of somebody like Vladimir Putin or Kim Jong-un. Behind my head there, the tweet message coming out from Ms. Miller, Greenland in the colors of the United States. Unfortunately, this is legitimately happening, guys. Let me get you to the video right here, and then we're going to jump into it.
Greenland, on Greenland now?
Yeah, on Greenland.
How did we come up to Greenland?
So, do you expect to take an action against Greenland?
Well, I don't want to talk about Greenland. Let's talk about Venezuela, Russia, Ukraine. We'll worry about Greenland in about 2 months. Let's talk about Greenland in 20 days.
Venezuela, we talk so much about energy.
By the way, I will say this about Greenland. We need Greenland from a national security situation. It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you. You know what Denmark did recently to boost up security in Greenland? They added one more dome sled. It's true, because that was a great move. Oh, I don't want to talk about Greenland now. I just say this. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security. And the European Union needs us to have it, and they know that.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm talking, I circled Lindsey Graham there for you to see, just like a lapdog, just laughing. And they're giddy about it, looking at each other, talking about Denmark and what they do for security is add another sled dog team. And guys, these are the images that we are seeing coming out of and endorsed by the White House. It's absolutely disgusting. You hear it for yourself. We must have it. We need it. This is our hemisphere. We're in charge here. Make no mistake about it. Denmark, this headline coming out, tells Trump to back off over threats against Greenland. What we're actually seeing is cracks in the NATO alliance, and they're forming over Greenland. It's called Split the Arctic with Putin. Putin has the world's only, listen guys, you may not have known this, Putin has the world's only and largest nuclear icebreaker fleet for the Arctic. Trump will need Putin to achieve his goals in the Arctic. For Russia, it's no different if Denmark controls Greenland or if the United States controls Greenland, because right now both are in NATO. And it's in Russia's interest to encourage a schism between the EU powers of NATO and the United States. They will be pushing this division as hard as they can. And about this Russian Arctic fleet, there's a sample of one of the ships. Russia is currently the only country, as I told you, operating. And you may ask, how big is it? As of late 2025, reporting on operations described 8 Russian nuclear icebreakers deployed and available for the Arctic work. Ladies and gentlemen, no other nation has a nuclear-powered Arctic icebreaker fleet or ship. Russia 8, rest of the world 0. Now, Greenland, U.S., and this is Foreign Minister Mette Frederiksen. Greenland, U.S. attacking NATO ally would be the end of everything. Now, does she mean military? Of course. But does she also mean war of words, economics? We just take you over, we force you out? I don't know. But listen to her statement here.
Threats, pressure, and condescending remarks, even from our closest allies for a generation, about wanting to take over another country and another people as if it was something you could buy and own. That has no place anywhere.